She said, "Dating you is like settling for leftovers." So I walked out mid-meal. Now she's alone, blocked, and telling everyone she made a mistake. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. I've never been the flashy type. I don't buy designer clothes. I don't post shirtless gym selfies. And I don't throw money around to impress people. What I do is show up. For work, for friends, for family, and especially for my girlfriend Emily. We'd been together a little over 2 years when everything blew up. And before I tell you the exact words that ended it, you need to understand how much of myself I poured into this relationship. When we first started dating, Emily was still finishing school and juggling 2 part-time jobs. She was constantly stressed about money, so I'd take her out on dates and cover everything. When her car broke down, I was the one who drove her to work every day until she saved up enough for repairs. When she got sick last winter and missed 2 weeks of shifts, I picked up extra hours at my own job so she wouldn't fall behind on rent. I wasn't keeping score. I just thought that's what you do when you care about someone. You help carry the weight when they can't. Emily wasn't a bad girlfriend in the traditional sense. She wasn't openly cruel. She could be affectionate, funny, and supportive at times. But every once in a while, she'd slip in these comments that stung more than I think she realized. Or maybe she did realize and just didn't care. Stuff like, "You're just so predictable sometimes. I wish you'd surprise me more like other guys do for their girlfriends." Or the classic, "Not everything has to be about saving money." I'd brush it off, telling myself she was just venting or comparing us to unrealistic TikTok she watched. But somewhere in the back of my mind, the doubt started creeping in. Was I really not enough for her? The night it all went down started like any other Friday. Emily wanted to meet some of her old college friends for dinner at a trendy restaurant downtown. I agreed, even though I was exhausted from work, because she seemed excited about it. The place was loud, crowded, and overpriced. The kind of spot where you pay $25 for an appetizer that leaves you hungrier than when you walked in. Emily thrived in that environment. She looked stunning, laughing with her friends, ordering cocktails, soaking up the energy. I sat beside her, content just watching. I wasn't there to steal the spotlight. I was there because she wanted me there. The drinks kept flowing, and I noticed Emily getting looser with her words. She was always bolder after a couple of martinis. Her friends started reminiscing about old relationships, joking about bad dates and cringe-worthy exes. One girl asked Emily, "So, what's it like being in such a long relationship? Don't you ever feel like you're missing out?" Emily smirked, tilted her glass, and said the words that would replay in my head for weeks after. "Honestly, dating him feels like settling for leftovers." For a moment, I thought I'd misheard her. The table went awkwardly quiet. Someone gave a nervous laugh, thinking maybe it was a joke, but Emily doubled down, shrugging like it was nothing. "I mean, he's reliable and all, but, not exactly the first choice. Still better than being alone, right?" She said it so casually, like she was commenting on the weather. And just like that, everything shifted. I don't remember much of the chatter after that. The noise of the restaurant blurred into static. Her friends gave each other uneasy glances, a couple of them shifting uncomfortably in their seats. One girl tried to change the subject, but the words had already burned themselves into my brain. Dating him feels like settling for leftovers. I sat instead. I waited until the check came. Without Emily blinked at me.
Where are you going?"
"Home," I said simply. Then I walked out. The night air was cold, and for once, I welcomed it. Each step away from that table felt like clarity, like I was peeling off a weight I didn't even realize I'd been carrying. Then came the texts. "Emily, seriously, you just left. Emily, that was so dramatic. Emily, it was a joke, babe. Stop acting like a child. I ignored them all and drove home. About it? Really? She said, stepping inside without waiting for me to invite her. You're going to storm off like that and embarrass me in front of my friends? I stayed calm. Embarrass you? Emily, you called me leftovers. She rolled her eyes. Oh my God, it was a joke. Everyone was laughing. No, I corrected her. They weren't. They were uncomfortable because you exposed exactly how you see me. Her face hardened. So what? You're just going to throw 2 years away because I made one comment after a couple drinks? Grow up. I let out a small laugh. Not angry, just tired. You don't accidentally call someone you love leftovers. Drunk or sober, jokes tell the truth people don't want to say outright. You meant it. She shifted, caught off guard. You're twisting this. You always do this. You blow things way out of proportion. I shook my head. No, I've let you belittle me more times than I should have. This time, I believe you. You see me as second best, as convenient. And I'm done being convenient. Her eyes widened like she hadn't expected me to stand firm. Wait, you're actually serious? You'd end us over this? I met her gaze evenly. You ended us the moment those words left your mouth. For once, she didn't have a comeback. She just stood there, mouth half open, like she was still trying to process that I wasn't arguing or begging her to stay. I opened the door and gestured toward it. Good night, Emily. She hesitated, then muttered, Fine, whatever. You'll regret this. And with that, she left. The silence that followed was heavier than I'd expected. But under it all was something else, too. Relief. The first week after Emily left was the hardest. Not because I missed her. I didn't. Not really. But because of the silence. For 2 years, my phone had been buzzing constantly. Her texts, her memes, her venting about work. Suddenly, it was quiet. I kept busy. I hit the gym after work, something I'd neglected because Emily always wanted me home to spend time together. I grabbed beers with coworkers I hadn't seen outside the office in months. I even reconnected with an old friend over Xbox. Slowly, I started to realize how much of my life I'd put on hold to make sure Emily felt secure. Of course, she didn't waste any time. 2 weeks after the breakup, a mutual friend sent me a screenshot. Emily had posted a picture on Instagram, clinking glasses with some guy I'd never seen before. The caption read, "Finally getting the treatment I deserve," followed by sparkles. I stared at it, then put my phone down. No anger, no jealousy, just confirmation. She had meant every word that night at the restaurant. I'd been the leftovers. This guy, he was her main course. At least, that's what she thought. Over the next month, I heard bits and pieces from people who still orbited her circle. Emily was flaunting this new guy everywhere, bragging about how he was spontaneous, how he made her feel alive. It stung at first. Then the story started shifting. Apparently, Mr. Perfect wasn't all that perfect. He was charming in public, but dismissive in private. He'd leave her waiting for hours, cancel plans last minute, flirt openly with other women at bars. Emily, the girl who once told me I was too predictable, was now stuck wondering if her boyfriend would even show up when he said he would. Karma works fast sometimes. Meanwhile, my life was settling into something I hadn't felt in a long time. Peace. I started cooking at home, lifting heavier at the gym, even sleeping better. People at work noticed the change. One coworker joked, "Man, whatever you're doing, keep it up. You look 10 years younger." I didn't advertise my breakup. When people asked about Emily, I just said we went our separate ways. That was it. No drama, no bitterness, just distance. Then one night, about 6 weeks after I walked out of that restaurant, my phone buzzed with a number I recognized all too well. Emily. Hey, can we talk? I stared at the message for a long moment. It was short, simple, and it was only the beginning. I didn't respond to Emily's first text. I read it, locked my phone, and went back to what I was doing. A day later, another one came through. Wow, you're really going to ignore me after everything. Then another. I just wanted to clear the air. Still, I said nothing. 3 days passed. Then she switched tactics. Okay, I get it. I messed up. That leftovers comment, it was stupid. I was tipsy and trying to make people laugh. You know I didn't mean it like that. This time I actually chuckled. She was trying to package her cruelty as a bad stand-up routine. That night, my phone rang. Against my better judgment, I answered. Finally, Emily said on the other end, her voice soft. You're impossible to reach these days. Maybe that's the point, I replied. She sighed. Come on, don't be like that. Look, I know I hurt you. But are you really going to erase 2 years together over one dumb comment? You didn't just hurt me, Emily. You showed me exactly what I was to you. It was a bad joke, she insisted, her tone sharpening. I was drunk and you're blowing it out of proportion. No, I said calmly. I believed you that night because deep down I think you meant every word. And that's why I walked away. There was silence on the line. Then she tried a different angle. I miss us. You were always there for me, no matter what. No one else has ever treated me like you did. Can't we just start over? I shook my head even though she couldn't see me. No, Emily. I'm not interested in being leftovers again. Wow, she snapped, her sweetness evaporating. So that's it. You're just throwing everything away. I'm not throwing anything away, I told her. I'm finally keeping something for myself. I ended the call before she could respond. Over the next week, she tried again and again. Texts, calls, even a DM from a fake account when I stopped answering. Each message got a little more desperate, a little less polished. At first, she tried to be lighthearted, then apologetic, then manipulative. And when none of it worked, the anger came through. But I didn't bite. Not once. It was a Saturday afternoon when I heard the knock. I wasn't expecting anyone. When I opened the door, there she was. Emily. She looked nothing like the confident girl who once laughed at me across a restaurant table. Her makeup was smudged, her hair pulled back like she hadn't bothered to get ready. And she clutched her phone like it was a lifeline. Can we please talk? She asked, her voice cracking. I didn't answer right away. I just stepped aside and let her in. She took it as a small victory, rushing past me and sitting down on the couch. For a long moment, she said nothing. Then the tears came. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I never should have said that. You didn't deserve it. You were the only person who ever really cared about me. I stayed standing. Emily, crying doesn't change what you said or how you felt. She wiped her face with the sleeve of her hoodie. You don't understand. The guy I was seeing, he didn't care about me at all. He just wanted someone to show off. He was cruel. He cheated on me after a month. I let the silence stretch. She stared at me, waiting for me to comfort her, to tell her it would be okay, but I didn't. Finally, I said, And you think that means I should take you back? Her head snapped up. I'm saying I made a mistake. You're stable. You're kind. You're the only person who ever... I cut her off. Stop. You don't miss me. You miss the way I made your life easier. She blinked at me, stunned. That's not true. It is, I said firmly. You called me leftovers. and the second you thought you had something better, you left without a second thought. Now that it blew up in your face, you want to come back. That's not love, Emily. That's convenience. Her face twisted, desperation morphing into anger. You think you're better than me now, just because you've been hitting the gym and ignoring my calls? Don't flatter yourself. You'll never find someone who puts up with you like I did. I almost laughed at that one. Emily, you didn't put up with me. I carried you. And now I'm done. She shot up from the couch, her tears gone, replaced by fury. Fine. Screw you. You'll regret this. Don't come crawling back when you realize no one else wants you. I opened the door for her. Goodbye, Emily. She stormed out, slamming the door so hard the frame rattled, but all I felt was calm. It happened about a month later. A buddy of mine was hosting a small get-together. Nothing big, just drinks, cards, and catching up. I almost didn't go when I found out Emily would be there. But I decided not to let her presence dictate my life. When I walked in, I could feel her eyes on me instantly. She tried to play it cool at first, chatting with people, laughing a little too loudly. But the moment she got the chance, she cornered me near the kitchen. Hey, she said softly, like nothing had happened. You look good. Thanks, I said, not giving her more than that. She fidgeted with her glass. I've been thinking a lot about us, about what we had. I know I screwed up, but maybe we could try again, start fresh. I just looked at her. She was waiting for me to melt, to take her hand, to let her rewrite history. Instead, I said, Emily, you made yourself perfectly clear. I was leftovers to you, remember? Her face went pale. She opened her mouth, but no words came out. I kept my voice calm, steady. Now you're the one standing here asking for a second chance after realizing the guy you chose didn't want you. So tell me, if you thought I was leftovers then, what does that make you now? The room had gotten quiet. A few people nearby had caught the exchange, and I could feel their eyes on us. Emily's face flushed red. That's not fair, she whispered, her bravado crumbling. No, I said. What wasn't fair was me giving you everything I had only for you to treat me like I was disposable. I'm not leftovers, Emily. I never was. And I'm sure as hell not going to be your second option now. I set my drink down, walked past her, and joined another group of friends. The conversation picked up again around me, and just like that, she was no longer the center of my world, or the room. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw her standing alone, blinking back tears. She couldn't hide it this time. For once, it wasn't my problem. I wasn't angry. I wasn't bitter. I was free, and that, more than anything, felt like winning. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.